All right, welcome to another episode of Plug Talk. This is gonna be a big one.
Yeah,
Got all three hosts here. Started off D Marachi.
Ivy the lifeline.
And what up,
Stop
y'all?
it.
It's Acid. There you go.
Always the most niggerish motherfucker in the podcast. You get on my nerves.
For the person acting niggerish.
And let's
And we
welcome our
got
guest.
our guest is in the building.
Hello, everybody. I'm Starburst.
Shout out your links or your social media so people know how to get in contact with you.
Starburst 2008 on Instagram.
Word. And Starburst 2008 on IG, y'all.
Right. And before we get in the video, we want everybody to like, comment, share, subscribe. You know what I mean? We're trying to grow this channel, stimulate that conversation that we need to have and bring awareness. So we're gonna get right into it. So we got
That is D Marachi.
we got women out there, they are mad because their mother was a side chick, man. So I'm gonna play the audio.
Oh yeah, let's get into this, man.
But hear me out. Yeah, I always saying pick me, but I could tell who was raised by side. Let's really talk about this. A lot of you women were raised by bitches who were side bitches. So a lot of the that y'all think is okay or think is cool, y'all think y'all mama do, but you don't know your mama or your grandma was a side bitch, or you think it's cool. Like, let me elaborate. You got some y'all bitch know it's true, but because I'm a woman and I said it, and I'm supposed to have, like, I guess it's woman code, y'all got a problem. This sister right here was going back and forth with the rebels on TikTok, calling her pick me, you know, the usual, saying all these things about her because they didn't like her opinion. I don't care what y'all talking about. She said what she said. Most of you have an issue with women like her who tell you the truth about your situations, specifically your relationships. You have a problem and can't understand what we're saying because so many of you were raised by side chicks and 304s. You have been programmed to think just like them, and that's why you can't stand women who tell you the truth. Women who are telling you from your
bro. Ladies in the phone. I don't want to pause a lot of times in this video, but I have to take a pause to see what do y'all think about the opening statements of the video we're playing for y'all. Essence, Starbucks, whoever want to start it off, we want to hear from y'all.
Adrian, you have or Starburst, I'm sorry. You have anything to say on that?
I think women classifying themselves as a side chick is a downgrade or a disgrace.
Why do you feel that? Why do you feel like if the best a woman has been in her life is a side chick, maybe because of her own incompetence or lack of accountability, why is that like a downgrade or like?
Why would you want to be considered a side chick?
Well, what if that's the best you ever been in your life?
Why would you settle for that?
It's not a settle, but if you don't hold yourself accountable enough to be a better woman, to be a wife, or a competent mother, to be able to at least be able to co-parent with somebody, then it's no other place to be. You're gonna end up
I
a
guess
side
for
chick.
I can't classify myself as a side chick in no atmosphere, no rhyme or reason can I classify myself as a side chick, because number one, first and foremost, I'm a firm believer that if you will cheat on her with me, you'll cheat on me for the next, and I'm worth more than that.
Yeah, but we ain't got into cheating about men yet. So this is about women not playing their role as a mother or a woman first.
I'm not going to be nobody's side chick. I'm not going to play second to none. I'm not going to play second to nobody. So therefore, I'm not going to stand in a place and be a side chick. Now, a stepmom, yes, I can be a step above what your true mother or your actual mother is, but a side chick, that I can never. When you accept the title as a side chick, you're stepping into second role. And that's something I could never, ever, 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 ever do.
I see what she's saying. Let's continue with the video so we can get better content. I just wanted to see where a woman stood on the opening statements, because our people here on the platform is more important than what we're discussing. So I need to know how our ladies feel, like our brethren feel. D. Murat, you got any comments on that? Because I don't have any.
Nah, I don't have anything to say.
All right, let's continue forward, and then if we need to stop, we'll stop.
Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Click the notification bell for all updates. Won't waste any
Hold
time.
up some, bro.
Back into it. Yeah, always saying pick me, but I could tell who was raised by side. Let's really talk about this. A lot of you women were raised by bitches who were side bitches. So a lot of the y'all think is okay or think it's cool. Y'all think y'all mama do, but you don't know your mama or your grandma was a side, or you think it's cool. Let me elaborate. You calling me a pick me because I spoke on some that y'all bitch know it's true, but because I'm a woman and I said it and I'm supposed to have, like, I guess it's woman code, y'all got a problem. I don't even like you bitches. I don't give a fuck, I'm a woman. I don't like y'all. And I'm gonna tell you why I don't like y'all. I don't like y'all because like this, y'all never honest with y'all. That's why a lot of y'all go through a lot of the problems y'all have and a lot of the emotional support that y'all need is because of y'all. Because y'all don't honest with yourselves. There's $69.
So I want to ask a question to the ladies as well. Do y'all believe that there's a woman code? And if you guys believe there's a woman code, what does that consist of?
Great question. Ladies?
There is a woman code, and it goes the same as a man code. Just like men have codes amongst their brethren or their other men, women have a code amongst other women.
Hold up.
Can
Agent, let me ask you a question. You believe there's a man code for real?
It's a bro code.
There is a bro code, exactly. So man code. So when you speak upon man code, is basically not letting the women. So bro code, man code, woman code, cis code. It all goes simultaneously into not letting the opposite sex know basically what your, how can I put this? It's like the SOS code. So
it's like they
men
say,
have
bros before hoes.
Exactly.
Bullshit. That's some shit y'all heard
Sis
in
before
rap
niggas.
music.
Hold on. Even though you are correct. Wait, even though where a person may hear this type of information, there are people, like, even though you want to sit here and say those are in movies or those are in music, people actually listen to what they try to live up to or what they vibrate with. Like, those are codes.
Influential.
Those are certain things that they definitely live by. That's the reason why they listen to it. So it is a code that they're absorbing, where they be like, man, bros before hoes, where there's literally people that take that. There are guys that take that and be like, man, I can't even do that. Like, I can't even though it could be the girl of his life. It could be the woman in his life where he was raised to be like, man, I'm not gonna do none of that because that oversteps my thing with my bros, where it puts a limitation on the growth of the type of relationship that they have. And I'm only saying this because it doesn't mean that it's that for everyone, but there is a group of people that live by that. And they also teach it and try to expand it out to have other young men, even flipping it around, where you ask, like, is there a woman's code? Now, it may be a woman's code, but something I will tell you is that females have this thing where even though they got a code, they got feelings. Their code is feelings. So whatever their feelings revolve around, like what they care about, that's what their code is. Like women don't have codes where they be like, okay, we females, so we finna just da 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 da. No, it's not like that. Women code is more so this my family, this my man, or this is whatever they think is theirs, and then that's what they live by. Like that's their code. It isn't a set code to me. Now I could be wrong, but just based off of what I've observed, ain't no women code where we women and we stick together. If it they have a code, but it's it's a women's code in a sense like what we've talked about before, plug, where you have like these feminist movements. They have a set agenda that they got going on, so they got to move in a certain type of code in that sense. But when you talk about like everyday life of women that stick together and just like an everyday living, I don't think it's a certain code. Like the code is family or of their emotions, what
So
their emotions is.
Hold on, Demon Rocky.
oh,
Let me tag in. And no disrespect, brethren,
go
but
ahead.
I gotta call bullshit when I see bullshit. When it comes to a woman code, that shit is for real. The feminist movement is for real. When it comes to a man code, hold on. Let me cook. When it comes to a man code, you don't see men advocating for R. Kelly. You don't see men advocating for Bill Cosby. We got to sit back and we got to get the facts first to realize what's going on in this situation is right or wrong. We don't do that shit. When it comes to women, I've seen women out here advocating for Megan Thee Stallion, and we still ain't had the man side of the case yet. I've seen women out here advocating for the woman that claimed Tupac raped her. I can't even remember her name right now. Y'all advocated for that shit. Y'all stand on a woman code that is much stronger than a man code. There is no man code because man code is about what's right or wrong. It's not about feelings. It's about logic because that's how men operate. When it comes to women, y'all operate on feelings. So y'all are able to be manipulated by other women's feelings and being able to understand where another woman is coming from, even if she's lying.
Can I interject?
Hold on.
Let him finish. Starbucks.
Yeah. You have every opportunity. We're not gonna cut nobody off. We respect our women on here like we respect our men. This is a mutual platform where we love each other. It's about love. It's ain't about nothing else.
Finish your thought.
We have a platform that has been going on for years that have been dragging men down the drain for being masculine. We are being demasculated in 2023. We have been being demasculated since the 90s, since the Oprah show, since Ricky Lake. So no, we're not going to play this game of men and women playing adversary and foe. That's not the case. Women, if we feel like y'all been done wrong by men, we are the first to say those niggas are wrong. But when does it come a point to where y'all point out the women that are doing bullshit, lying, getting men locked up, getting men fucked up, putting men in bad situations? Tupac, hold on, D. Marachi, me and you did podcasts on this before. Tupac was locked up for sodomy. We're talking about the biggest rap artist in the world. You tell me a woman he couldn't fuck for free. Yet he gets locked up for sodomy, which is forcefully touching a woman's buttock that sucked his dick on the floor, and they have footage of it. He went to jail after the footage was shown of this woman sucking his dick on a dance they can't get their way. They will fantasize with the law and play the game of the law to help them incarcerate other black males, which, if you pay attention to how the system works, let's pay attention to what just happened in Tennessee. You had a black male killed by 5 black officers. I promise you this, those black officers are going to get a longer period of time in prison than any white officer we ever seen kill a black male before. And we seen black officers pull up. Peace and blessings to Samaria Rice, the mother of Tamir Rice, who I just talked to 3 days ago. And she explained the whole situation to me, which I overstood. You got mothers like her who lose a son to police brutality, and ain't near one of the police officers been indicted, and that situation was 10 years ago. Tamir Rice was a 12-year-old boy that got killed by the cops 10 years ago. So what I'm saying is, our women play a big role in what's going to happen to the black men. And if y'all scream wolf, if y'all play victim, we're most likely going to be executed to the utmost extreme. Like in the situation with Tyree Nichols, 5 black officers, no matter what, it don't matter if Tyree Nichols was fucking with old boy's girlfriend or not. That pretty much brings a bigger knock on them officers and that man who felt some type of way. If your woman wants to move on for you and you want to do some bullshit like he did and abuse his authority, you deserve a life sentence. But you're going to see these officers get, because they're black, you're going to see them get sentenced to more time than you ever see any white officer that just pulled up to the scene and just popped the nigga.
You diverting away from. You diverting because you're getting wrapped up into too much.
All right, bring me back to the.
But Adrian, I mean Starburst. Oh my gosh, Starburst. What did you want to? There was something that you wanted to touch in on what he was saying.
So, in the point that Plug Talk was talking about, when it comes down to reality, a woman is only going to do so much when it comes down to the cis code. The cis code.
Thank you.
But men, they're not only living by the bro code, but they're also living by their ego.
Ego or truth?
Ego. Because a lot of, I won't even call them men, a lot of boys today are searching for truth in an ego.
So how many men did you see advocate for R. Kelly? How many men have you seen advocate for Bill Cosby before we had information to speak on the men about? We weren't out here talking about it's a bro code, fuck that, defend R. Kelly, none of that. We didn't do that shit.
So when it comes down to R. Kelly, when it comes down to Bill Cosby, in the United States, they say you're innocent until proven guilty. I'm gonna be probably one out of 100 women that's gonna say innocent until proven guilty, because in reality, when it comes down to what a woman say in their situation, it's guilty until proven innocent. And the reason why I say that is because there has been new light on the R. Kelly situation to where women have come forth to say that they were paid. Number one, the root of all evil is money.
Thank you.
I'm gonna be honest and say the root of all evil is money. They were paid to lie to make R. Kelly guilty. If
Bill Cosby, not to cut you off, Bill Cosby has been released from prison. He's been out over a year now. That means that the women who came to testify, that came forward and said they were paid also, because that black man was a billionaire and was trying to take over NBC. So at the end of the day, he won on an appeal, basically said that those women's testimonies weren't valid. So once again, we
Blood Talk.
Hold on, go ahead.
I got a question for you. Blood Talk. Speaking outside of reality, because today's society doesn't live in reality. Today's society move in dollar bills. If you ain't got dollars, you ain't making sense, so therefore you're not in reality.
But you got to understand, a black man who got dollars that makes sense is a threat to white supremacy. The same way Bill Cosby was, the same way Kanye West was, the same way Kyrie Irving was, because he didn't want to take a shot and he didn't want to play basketball under their terms. So we see black men getting prosecuted under the white supremacy code all the time. But it seems that our women are not on the same board with us. It seems like the only people that understand it are black men. So what I'm saying is, if y'all understand it, this is why you're here. Because we need the women that understand what's going on.
So here's where the downfall falls in. And I speak this from living in Japan. What American women don't understand is the news that is presented to us is to keep us distracted from what's really going on. And it's very few women, there's very few Americans, regardless of your culture, your color, that seeks truth. Once NBC, Fox News, CBS, ABC, whatever newscast you may watch, broadcast it, that's what they take to be true. But it's very few that seek the truth and doing their own research.
I agree.
So therefore, we're blinded by what we see as a distraction, and we take it as news.
I'm
so
gonna say this on
R. Kelly, when you look at Bill Cosby, when you look at Kobe Bryant, when you look at any of our black millionaires that are taken down by society and what we see and what women project them to be, if you just look at what's broadcast to you, guilty by association.
Is it anything different from what you're saying in Kanye West? I think the reason why our black sisterhood loses concept of Kanye West is because Kanye West didn't marry a black woman. So they like to discredit Kanye West for dealing with Kim Kardashian instead of dealing with a black woman. Instead, let's look at Kanye West. So let's look at Kanye West as a body of work and what he's doing as a black man to express what's going on in society. Fuck who he married. Fuck his lifestyle.
It doesn't matter about who he married.
Right.
White, black, Arabian, purple, pink, yellow, or green. It doesn't matter who he married.
Starburst, let me ask you this question. Is he right or wrong?
He's indifferent. And you know why he's indifferent? It's not about what he's talking, it's how he's portraying his message that's not clear.
I don't give a fuck how he portraying his message. If I'm a killer and I come to you and say, I'm going to kill you, Starburst, does it matter if I whisper it in your ear like Ralph Tresvant? Or does it matter if I yell it in your ear like Andrew Tate? It don't matter. I said I'm going to kill you. That's the point.
So hold on.
So hold on. Let's pause right there. We're going to finish the video, but I just want to make it understood that when it comes to tone, men, that is something only women recognize as a defense mechanism. But when it comes to men, we don't care what tone you saying in.
Hold on.
We care about what you're
Pause,
saying.
take it easy. Hold on. See, because I could sit there and do the same thing, and that's not necessarily true, because it is about a tone for a man, because it is definitely still respect. Like, it's still that, because tones is...
Yo, there's no respect.
Hold on. The reason why I say that, though, is because men have that defense mechanism that if a woman starts talking firm and starts talking the way that y'all talk and do all that extra stuff, it's, oh my gosh, why are you talking like that? That's
why is she so ignorant?
A woman's not supposed to carry herself that way. It's not supposed to be none of that. So if it's a defense mechanism for women, then it's a defense mechanism for a man to try to dictate how something is supposed to be or guide it. It goes
exactly.
What I'm gonna say to that is this: when you start talking gangster, we know you don't mean.
Don't do that. No, it's a talk. I hear you. I'm giving you an example. I'm giving you an example. This is an example right now. You said that men don't care about none of that. They don't care about none of that. So don't label it and say you're talking gangster. Like, that's, how are you going to say that it's nothing, but now you're labeling it saying, oh, well, now since you're talking gangster. No, it shouldn't matter, because if you're yelling versus me whispering it in your ear, what do you mean? Don't say I'm being gangster.
Because the one thing you won't never hear a man say in a conversation is that your tone is bothering me.
Right, you're not.
Hold on.
It's all because of ego.
It's
all because of ego.
Listen, it's not an ego. It's not an ego. Don't get it twisted. Do not misdefine this shit because you don't understand it. You don't got dicks. Neither one of y'all got dicks. And we don't have period. So we don't see things the same way as you.
Right.
It shouldn't matter whether you stand up and piss or whether you sit down and piss.
Hold on. I didn't cut none of y'all off.
Good.
Let's not do that. Dimarachi, as a man, what matters more to you? My tone or what the fuck I'm saying to you?
So
hold on. I'm not asking no ladies.
That's fine. Hold on. That's fine. You're not asking. That's the thing, though. You're trying to dictate. You don't want no one. I understand that. I understand you're asking Dimarachi. But before Dimarachi answers your question, something that I want you to be aware of, though, like, you need to be aware of yourself, because you're sitting here saying that, yes, a man's not going to sit here and say, oh, my feelings, but you're definitely sitting here saying, I'm talking gangster. The way that we talk because of our language, because you're a man and I'm a woman, we can speak about the same things, but our language is going to be different, but we're doing the same thing. So, yeah, you're absolutely right in what it is that you're saying.
No, we're not. Because
yes, we
I'll
are.
tell you why we're not. No, we're not.
Yes,
because
we are.
When a woman
go ahead.
Listen. When a woman talks gangster shit, she front line on gangster shit. If Dimarachi whisper in my ear, I'm going to kill you, I don't believe he need no army behind him. I believe he might kill me right now.
Hey,
if a woman come and whisper in my ear, hold on, chill out. Let me finish what I'm saying. Don't interrupt me with these distractions that y'all women love to do. Once again, I'm saying this.
Oh my goodness.
Dimarachi's tone does not matter to me. If that man whispered in my ear, ear, he gonna kill me. I'm listening to what he's saying, not his tone. His tone does not dictate what the fuck the outcome can be. With women, y'all tend to pick off a nigga's tone. Okay, let me give you a prime example of what I mean. If you allow me to elaborate. Kevin Samuels died in vain because there was a bunch of feminist women that loved to talk about his tone and distort what this man was about. We watched women dog walk this nigga after his death, and half of them women didn't have the face to show up on his platform. So he watched the coward technique go on with a black man of ours. When most of you women that didn't like him was scared to even come to have a conversation with him. We know that it's true. Demorachi, am I lying?
No, I'm not lying. And could I take the floor as well?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
All right. I just want to like get back a little bit to the topic, even though this is all intertwined. I feel like men, we do say bro code and G code and stuff, but I think there's two sides of it. And you guys are just mentioning only one aspect of it. You guys are not, you guys are not acknowledging the accountability side of it, where we push men to want to do better. If they're doing wrong, we hold them responsible. Yes, you have men that be like, oh yeah, bros over hoes and stuff like that. But there's some men that'll say at the same time, these are queens. You know what I mean? And don't do them like
treat them that way.
But this is the thing when it comes to the women as well. Women, they support, they say hot girl summer, they say slut walks and all that stuff. And these are things that you're not gonna encourage a daughter or family member or a little girl to do. Why would you encourage them to do that type of stuff? And by you encouraging them to do slut walks and for them to do hot girl summers, that is side chick behavior at best.
Thank you. We're not promoting fuck nigga behavior. Nobody has advocated for R. Kelly. Nobody has advocated for Bill Cosby. Nobody is advocating for these men that abuse women because of their position or title. We're not advocating for that. So when you talk about a bro code versus a sisterhood, our bro code is about righteousness and doing the best
I have
thing.
A question. I have a question.
Yes.
So when you're talking about your bro code, you're talking about the hot girl summer?
No, we're talking about what men do. We're talking about what men do and only men. We don't talk about women in the bro code.
Right. But blood talk.
Let her rock.
Blood talk. When you're talking about your bro code. So right now we're focused on bro code and the aspect of bro code.
We're not focused on that. We're focused on women.
Bro code.
It's been distorted that way.
Starburst. Hold on. Starburst. Hold on 1 second. You brought up the bro code. I'm just acknowledging the part that you said.
And they try to do that all the time. Manipulate the conversation into something else that it wasn't. We're talking about single mothers raising women under the manipulation of them being side chicks. That's what this is based off of. This is not based off of no bro code because, like I said, when it comes to a bro code, you ain't seen a bunch of niggas advocating for R. Kelly. You ain't seen a bunch of niggas advocating for Bill Cosby.
But you see, but hold on, blood talk. But when you talk about bro code,
yes.
When you talk about Negroes, when you talk about what y'all are advocating the hot girl summers. Y'all are advocating the
No, we
sundress.
not.
Hold on,
No,
wait
hold
a
on.
second, wait a second.
Because
Wait
if
a
you
second.
look
Let her
at
rock.
today's society, if you
Ivy,
look
let
at
her rock.
today's
Let her rock.
society, if you look at today's society, what do men promote? Women want women in the sundress, whatever.
Who
Hold
said that?
on, wait a
Where
minute.
do you
You
see
look
black
at
men
men
say
when
that?
you talk about. See, here's the difference.
Wait, let her rock. Let her, come on.
Here's the difference. When you hear bro code, and this is
Yep.
from a mother. I'm 44 years old. I have a 27-year-old and I have a 22-year-old.
Okay,
When I
cool.
ask them, what do bro code advocate?
Okay.
First thing I hear is hot girl summer. What I hear is, oh, it's sundress season. When do you hear bro code advocating for women that stand for respect? When do you hear of men wanting women with respect?
Wait a second. Hold on.
Let me answer that.
Could I
Let me answer that.
Could
Yeah, I heard what she said. Let me
okay.
answer that. First off, the problem is with you. You ask a 27-year-old and 23-year-old grown men problems. That's the problem. You asking niggas who's just coming out of their boyism, understanding what it's like to be a man. Man, shit.
But here's the thing, Plug Talk.
No. Let me talk. Let me cook like you did. I'm 42. I'm going to be 43 February 9th. I'm your age. You need to be asking me that shit, not your little boy-ass sons that you raised.
Okay, so I'm asking you, because I'll be 45 in July.
Hold on. I'm going to answer it. Chill.
I'm not talking
Yeah,
to you.
chill. You already said where you get your information from.
No, I'm not telling you where I get my information from. I'm telling you, in society today, I'm not talking about the 40-year-olds. I'm not talking about the 30-year-olds. I'm talking about the generation that's leading our future. When you look at when you look at the world today, you can't look at the 40s. You can't look at the 50s. You have to look at the society that's coming up behind us. What is our future?
So let me say something on the behalf of the Plug Talk forum here. What we overstand, not understand, but overstand is one thing. Our young brothers grew up in the households. 78% of them grew up in single parent households. So we have an overwhelmingly number of masculine men. Feminine men. That is the majority of us today. Listen, the majority of us are not Malcolm X's. The majority of us are not Fred Hamptons no more. The majority of us are feminine men.
But can I ask you one question?
Hold on. Let me finish. Raised by women that don't know the first thing about being a black male in America.
But can I ask you one question?
I don't give a fuck. Listen, I don't give a fuck what education your son gets. I don't give a fuck what type of position he plays in society. He doesn't know the first thing about being a black male in America until he learns it firsthand on his own, which means that before he understands everything that's overwhelmingly a part of society in real life, he's probably going to be 35 before he can handle it.
But can I ask you one question? I got one question for Plug Talk. Out of everything that you said, right? As a man, in today's society, what is your respect level for a woman, regardless of age?
Respect level.
Hold on. I'm not finished.
Because you're trying to do a one-sided speech.
I'm not finished.
Go ahead, love. Go ahead.
As a man, because from my outlook on you, you consider yourself a man, regardless of what anybody in society consider you as. You consider yourself a man, correct? So as a man, in today's society, what knowledge, number one, what perspective, number two, can you give back to society for the upcoming young man? I'm not even gonna call him a man, I'm gonna call him a young prince. As an upcoming prince in today's society, what knowledge can you give them as a man? Because the only thing that society portrays right now for women is bitch, hoe, thought, trick. There is nothing promoting a woman in today's society.
Can I chime?
Hold on, Dimorachi, you got to let me do this, Mo. And listen, let Dimorachi speak next, ladies, because he's been waiting for a minute. So let me answer that question. First the fuck off, I don't give a damn how society dictates what's going on in black culture. That's our job. First off. Second off, you don't know the first thing about being a black man in America, period. I don't give a fuck how many black men you give birth to. You don't know what it takes. We do. So that's what I offer to every prince out here is because I'm an anointed king. I'm a six-figure plus nigga, and I live a great fucking life outside of here.
What do you have to give back?
No.
What do you have to give back?
I didn't interrupt. No, Adrian, Starburst, I didn't interrupt you. Do not be disrespectful and interrupt me. This is not a one-sided platform. This is about respect. I didn't interrupt you. I did not interrupt you. I let you say what you need to say. Let me finish. Then you can come in and say whatever the fuck you gotta say after Dimorachi. We are all going to get a chance to speak. I'm not asking for nothing unfair. This is the way that business meeting is conducted. So it's nothing weird going on here. I understand a lot of women who in feminist atmospheres where y'all dominate and y'all do a lot of illegal shit. But when it comes to men, we let each other cook and then we come in with our shit. So what I'm saying to you is this. I advocate for black women the same way I advocate for black men. When it comes to that, there is no excuses onto accountability. So when you talk about your shit, you're accountable for your shit. When I talk about my shit, I'm accountable for my shit. I'm not going to blame it on the gender. I'm not going to blame it on black women. I made poor decisions, so I ended up with the results of poor decision making. Nobody's fault but mine. My mama, my daddy can't make me fuck with nobody out here in real life. This is not a coming to America experience. So there's nobody who get an excuse. When you fuck up, you fucked up. Eat the shit. Grow from it. Learn from it. Nobody is to be held accountable for your mistakes but you. Same for me. Same for me. Same for me. So let's eliminate that out of the equation. That's not an excuse for nobody. My point is this, love. When you have a multitude of men and a multitude of women that are groomed in the household of bitter-ass women, 78% of black culture is raised in single-parent households by women. That means the niggas grow up feminine as fuck, thinking like women, acting like women, Latinos. You don't hear that from the Asians. You don't hear that from the Mexicans. You only hear that from black women talking about they don't need no fucking man. That's genocide.
Blood talk.
Hold on, Demarachi. Wait a minute.
Starburst. Listen. I'm gonna cut my shit short so everybody else can have a platform to talk because we want to finish the rest of the video. But what I say is exactly what it is. Only our culture of women go around talking about they don't need a man. That is a very systemic result of 78% of our culture being raised by women who couldn't keep a man. So, as we move forward, let's keep in perspective 78% of black culture. So even when you're talking about men, have been feminized and demasculated.
Right. Essence.
Yeah.
Do you want to go? You could go and then I'll follow up after you. Go ahead. Say your piece.
All I was really honestly gonna touch upon is with this whole, I guess what it's evolved into is that
now let's not get off a topic. Please keep us on board.
It did kind of get off a topic, but like Demarachi said earlier, it still is all together. So honestly, like coming back to the whole like topic in a sense, what I will say is plug. There were some things, it's not about tone, it's about words being used. What I mean by that is, first of all, you sitting there saying that, but telling someone, I don't give a fuck what it is that you, I think there's different ways, and it ain't demask because we're just having a conversation. We're having a conversation, and you're gonna say, oh, this is a female, da da da, but something you need to recognize is that you're talking to females.
Yo, so let me ask you this.
You're talking to females. I just want you to, you are talking to females. I think it would be different that if you're talking to other males, because the point is about bridging and understanding, right? So in order to do that, you speak to someone else within their language. And that's just out of respect. It has nothing to do with, and I'm not saying you're being disrespectful. That's not what I'm saying. Because I know you are speaking authentically. You don't have no ill intentions. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's not your demeanor. That's not your intentions. That's not any of that. So if that isn't your demeanor and your intentions, then as you communicate with, as you're communicating with the people that you're communicating with, we communicate with each other within understanding each other's language.
Hold on, let me say something real quick. Starburst, if hubby want to get in, let him in. We give him a chance to speak, but he's not eliminated from this. Yo, the most beautiful thing we can have right now is a couple here, because a lot of us. No, go ahead. I want Esther to finish, but I don't want him to feel like he can't jump in. We just want to keep an order.
Because the reason why I'm cutting you off is because my husband is sitting right here and he hears everything. And I keep muting my side because but I don't want him to oversee or speak what is being going on the podcast.
True. But all I'm saying is, in order, we can all have a turn. We want to give everybody an opportunity to speak. Since hubby coming in last, he may have to go last, but we're not going to overlook him. But I do want him, if he feels like he has input, I want him to be involved. I don't want him to feel like he's excluded. or anything like that.
So the reason why I'm interrupting is because he's speaking based off of your remarks right now. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And based off of,
listen, if he can give it a moment so everybody else can give their input, we'll take his as well. So it's not about interrupting. It's not about how anybody feels right now. We are in an ordained situation to where everybody needs the opportunity to express themselves, and we want to allow them to do that. Right now, it's S's turn. After that, it's going to be D. Marachi, and then we can get back to you guys again as a group. So what we want to do is keep an ordained order and conduct ourselves like men and women, gentlemen and women. We're not going to get out as a code because somebody feels some type of way. It's not about feelings. This is about reality.
I got you.
So, with due respect to hubby, peace and blessings to you, brother. King, I know that you got to be a king to have a woman like her because she's dope as hell. And ain't none of us on here enemies. We're not each other's enemies. We are the glue to our culture, and we got to represent that in a way that everybody can grow from. So, if we can make it through an order, I talked a lot. We want to let Essence finish. We want to let D. Marachi go. We'll let you guys go again. Then we'll finish the video. Is that okay with everybody? Are we in agreement?
Absolutely.
This is how the culture works, y'all. Take notes. You got some dope black people here right now. Take notes. Essence is on you, love. Sorry for the interruption.
No, you good. But I would just say bringing it back to like what we were talking about as far as women being upset because, or even with what old girl said when she said that females is going to be mad or females will be mad because of what she said and she's speaking the truth. She didn't even explain anything. First of all, like the clip in the beginning, she didn't even really say anything. She just said like, some of y'all females is mad because you raised by side chicks. And then it jumped into, oh, y'all in y'all feelings because I'm saying what the next person wouldn't say. You didn't even say anything.
Let me just say something real quick, Essence, and then you could take the floor. That was only the beginning of the video, just to get you in.
Right.
We got to play the rest of it. That's why I like that.
Okay.
But yeah, go ahead, Essence.
But I mean, you asked as far as like the reaction or the input of what she even said. Like, she didn't even say anything. The most that she said was that she had a perspective or input of saying like she has some type of discernment based off of maybe how she was raised. And I don't even know, like you said, there's nothing that was even given, but to separate or I guess say what a side chick is, like a female being mad because she's raised by a side chick, like a woman that's a side chick. So if you're a side chick woman, you're gonna raise or teach the next woman to be a side chick because that's what you have to be able to, you get what I'm saying, pass down or teach.
She's not projecting that as she's reacting to a video she's seen, and the person that we got this video from is almost a fourth person perspective. She's reacting to her reacting to an initial video. And that's why we're kind of out of perspective right now because we haven't heard everything out on the video. But I stopped it because I thought it was important to us as a forum to hear a lady's perspective about what she was saying so far. There's a lot more. It's a 10-minute video. There's two women that's going to speak. The one you see speaking right now, and then the woman who's reacting to the video. So I want both of y'all perspective, including if Starburst is going to bring in her husband, that's a third man to the forum with two ladies. I want everybody's perspective. because we're a culture. We got to learn how to operate and function as one, as a unit, and see the truth of a matter, whether it comes from who it comes from.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Essence. Go ahead.
So then what I would ask is if we can actually get something of substance, like not asking for a perspective on half information, because it causes us to like, don't get me wrong, things that were said in the build that's there obviously are examples of how we communicate. People will be able to decipher their own things and depict, but to stay on, to keep it of the substance of what this is about, can we actually hear the substance of the actual video and then be able to get like a perspective, or instead of just stopping at certain points that ain't even.
D. Marachi, roll the footage. What she's saying is absolutely correct. I feel her. I'm with her. That's our co-host. I'm with it, bro. Let's not delay the rest of the content any further. Let's get it in full detail, so as a panel we can all fully discuss it.
Okay.
Roll it, D. Marachi.
We all know that most of these women talking this female empowerment stuff, they can't stand each other. For instance, I remember when Coach Stormy Wellington was dating that Pookie baby daddy with like 7, 8 children. And one of his baby mamas came out talking about this elaborate scam and fraud that went on. That was all uncovered and discussed in this video right here. If you want to check it out, the link is below. You can watch it after this lesson. But I remember Coach Stormy's response being, and so what? What does that have to do with me? She didn't care that she was charging women $15,000 to go to these female empowerment events, and then using the money to pay his child support. She didn't care at all. All she wanted to do is use the false pretense of the sisterhood and female empowerment and female positivity, which is really nothing positive about it. It's just a mean girl convention, using those funds to support her Pookie boyfriend. Yeah, cared nothing about sisterhood. Her answer was, what does that have to do with me? So yeah, there is no sisterhood. It's just a group of people who come together and lie to each other and acting like they're pushing each other forward, when in reality, they're holding each other back and spreading themselves alone. Literally, y'all done nothing but prove my point. And then y'all always talk about pick me. Bitch, your mama wasn't picked. That's why you think the way that you do. You've never had a real male figure in your life to really be real with you and tell you how men really think. Y'all be listening to these little boys that y'all think is y'all friends for real, and these really just be trying to f***
Yeah, and the so-called guys they have around, those are the simps who don't want to tell them the truth because they don't want to mess up the chance of sleeping with them.
God damn it, talk that shit.
Around them. So they're only getting information from 304s, your average feminists, your average misandries. And then they go around spreading all of it like cancer and repeating the cycle generation after generation.
Mother and the daughter, they want to bond.
Yeah, because then y'all talk about something.
So when I saw I'm taking shots for certain questions, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And just
you gotta go so far. You gotta go find out you a man and like to do some things.
let me tell you, I keep thinking about why I took that shot. I'm like, who was that person? Who was that person? She played with me. I think it's a great game for kids and their mama to play together. Especially when you and your mama closer age, like how we are. I think it's cute.
Yeah, and they always think it's cute. Just like that woman who recently went viral who was wearing a bikini thong bathing suit, and she dressed up her infant daughter in a matching suit. Shout out to the sister who sent that in to me. It was just disgusting. Like, why would you do that? People like her should be locked up.
Hold on, D. Marachi. I want to make clear to the women who didn't see that clip. She had on a brown top, a halter top with a thong on. She put her 18-month-old daughter in a brown halter top with a thong on and took pictures that way and posted them on TikTok. Move forward. Let's go. We're not going to address that right now. We're going to address it when they done.
for daughters and mothers to bond with each other over drinking games where they're supposed to learn and trade explicit stuff with each other. That's crazy. You could tell who these women were raised by. They want to bond with their mothers and daughters over 304 stuff. So yeah, that TikTok sister, she is absolutely right.
They don't tell you how men really think about y'all. The shit y'all be doing, that dumb ass going back to niggas every single time they over, or always calling these niggas y'all business and advice. They be cooking y'all behind the scenes. Like I said, a lot of you were raised by side bitches that wanted to be picked. So y'all think what y'all doing is okay. And I bet you if you go in the room right now and look at your mama and see how her life turned out, you're gonna listen to what I said and know that I'm right. My relationship with womanhood is not weird at all. I'll tell you exactly what it is. Y'all are so mad that I'm not on here bashing men when it's obvious men we see every day what they are. Like, we don't have to keep talking about this. We have enough eyes, we have enough books, we have enough movies, we have the internet, we have babies. Like, we know how men are. You see it every day. But there's nobody out here getting on y'all women, because every woman that starts something that's a movement just going with it and thinking that it's cool. Like, I don't care what you do with your body. I don't care how many kids you have. I don't care who you sleep with. None of that. But the things that y'all do and we do to each other is terrible. And nobody talks about that.
Every time you go on social media, you see these platforms flooded with misandry and feminism talking points. You can't even watch a movie or TV show without the rhetoric being sprinkled throughout the show, all designed to program all of us. You turn on the radio and then you have to turn it off. If it's not the music, it's the host, the conversations they're having, or the commercials. Everywhere you go, men are being emasculated, or they're being made to look like they're bad people. And women are propped up as smarter angels who never did anything. And even when they do wrong, it's still never their fault. Share the blame with someone else or completely put it on somebody else. That's because modern women hate accountability. Other women are trying to stay on code. Then they have men lying and taking up for them as well because something about them reminds them of their 304 mama. You could tell the women and men raised by 304s. They never want to hold women accountable at all because that means they would have to look at their mama and come to terms that she really wasn't, you know what? Y'all not ready for this.
Immediately when a woman says something about another woman, everybody want to say, pick me, pick me. It's always be half and half. It's half of the women that's conscious of what they do to each other and when they actually take accountability for the stuff that they do as well.
Talk your shit.
But the side that I'm not on is the boost. Want to sit up here and act like y'all just so perfect and y'all really be terrible beings, terrible to mothers, and really just
You can't even hear it.
And not only that, the reason y'all think I'm so terrible is because y'all have had mothers and people in your life that have enabled you to not take accountability for your actions, and you don't realize how you have to be comfortable with yourself to acknowledge when you're wrong. And y'all don't do that. Everything is everybody else's fault. You get to ask me a problem. Such and such did this. They did this to me. So where you fall into the category? Don't you live in your body? So like I said, be for real. Y'all be on here trying to sound so smart and be sounding so dumb. Just be quiet. Y'all not gonna win.
When women like her tell them the truth, they get so angry. And this is on TikTok where they can easily click off her video and go hear what they want to hear. But they want to argue with her instead because the game is to make all the women get in line with them. Their goal is to convert every soul until all the women, all the men are going along with this feminism crap. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Shout out to Judah's Line. I appreciate you for all of your support for the channel. Don't forget that you can support this channel. The Cash App.
Let's start with the ladies. Now that we heard everything in full perspective, how do y'all feel?
Essence Scott.
I would prefer Starburst to go if she would like to.
Starburst, you there? She's not there.
Okay.
She's not there.
What I would say as far as what old girl was saying, I don't know how what she was saying and what was shown, them being raised as side chicks, like for instance, when they brought up the guy that was had all the kids, right? And then it was women that would come together and act like, or it was that female that came together and would act like she cared about a feminine movement or, you know, whatever, but she was taking the money and taking care of what she felt was important to her. To me, that is it. So is that supposed to be an example of what to the topic?
It
What do
has
you
to
mean?
do
What do
with,
you mean, Essence?
The reason,
Go ahead,
oh,
DeMonte.
so I mean, what it has to do with is women being mad because they're raised by side chicks. So so basically with that, it's like you have these women that are giving other women advice about and giving them the wrong advice. They're leading them down a path of destruction in a sense.
I
So
think
she
teaching. Sorry,
so
my
hold
bad.
on, let me just say this and you could take the floor, Essence. I know you've been
Yeah, my
taking
Let
bad.
him finish.
I'm sorry.
Let him
you've
finish.
been waiting for a minute just like me. I've been waiting for a minute. So that's why I'm
Yeah,
trying to make my stuff like
my
short.
bad.
So basically it's a woman that got scrutiny because she was agreeing with men. That's why. That's what the video's basically about. And they
Okay.
called her a call me pick me. I know you heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Heard that before. And she doesn't understand why she's being called a call me pick me when all she's doing is just holding the women accountable. But these
Okay.
women don't want to be held accountable. So by those actions, she's coming to a conclusion of these women were raised by side chicks, which were their mothers.
Okay.
That's what she's saying. So, Essence, go ahead.
So putting it in a sense of that perspective, uh what I would have to say about that is normal for in the sense of any for any woman to stand on what's when I say what's right is if you speak upon like it wasn't even about her just trying to side with a guy or oh you know what like you said like they said oh pick me it wasn't nothing about that she was standing on obviously principle you know about whatever situation or whatever so anytime a person to me anytime a person does that or a female does that especially when it's about going on the opposite sex like you're not following what you are you get what I'm saying like she's a female so it's this idea that we're supposed to just go with what is similar to us versus what is right.
Right.
Um, it's
Perfect
easier.
example.
It's easier to try to judge that person, to try to place that person in vain, so that it discredits the fact that what she's standing on is what's right and what's real, not just what's in.
Right.
So calling her, I don't know, calling her a call me, pick me, and I guess I would say I understand that because I'm in her shoes a lot.
Right. Talk about that. Talk about that, Essence.
Um, in the sense of I don't know, I guess it don't bother me when I'm in those type of situations because I don't really care what other people like. I don't give a fuck about what other people think
Yeah,
about
yeah.
in the
Let her
sense in the sense of trying to fit into a group. You get what I'm saying? Like if a person or a group of people say things or about what it is that I'm saying or doing, even though they can be attacking, even though it can be diminishing, even though and several different people do it in several different ways. Um, I don't necessarily care to I don't care in the aspect where it's going to make me change and want to be like, okay, if you can't beat them, join them. I'm not going to join you like that. Like, I'll stand on my own. But people that do that, when you get into a large group of society, like, they do it in so many different forms of fashion. They even do that with men. Like, that's a part of what I would say maybe Plug was touching on, but in a sense, it came out when he was talking about, well, when we were all, in a sense, talking about the difference between like a bro code and a cis code. It is a bro code, but like he explained, it's about bro code is logic. Men are logical, so it has to make sense. You can't sit here and try to make a man agree with what you're saying and it doesn't make sense. Like, you can't say, oh, do this because I feel this way. Like, you can have feelings, but what's the logic behind your feelings? So I get what it was. Like, Plug, I get what it was that you were saying earlier. I just wanted you to recognize, like, even in your words, you were contradicting what you were saying. It is a code. Don't say it's not a code when it is a code, but your code is just based off of logic and accountability. And like you said, the female code is based on
our code isn't about manhood, meaning that if our code was about a brotherhood and representing brothers, right or wrong, all black men would side with R. Kelly and be like, it's okay as a 30-year-old millionaire to manipulate 16-year-old girls. We don't side with that because it's not right. So we don't side with him just because he's a brother, just because he's a successful brother, and we want to side with manhood. We side with what's right and what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Women tend to side with, no matter how wrong a woman is, it's still a woman code. So my prime example was Megan Thee Stallion right now. With the Tory Lanez situation. There are so many women that are just siding with Megan because she's a woman. But if we look at the logistics of their case, Megan, there's no way you can get shot in your foot, which has 300 ligaments and 180 something bones, and be twerking a week later. So we know you wasn't shot. Your court case didn't produce any fragments of a bullet. There was no proof that you were shot. Now there's a black man whose life is spent in jail right now because of your lies. They haven't been proven. We cannot say that Tory Lanez is locked up today beyond a reasonable doubt of shooting her if she was shot or if she was shot at and bullet fragments hit her foot. Who's to say Kelsey didn't shoot her? That has not been proven in court who shot her. If she was shot, that's one thing. But who shot you is another. Sisterhood is going to rock with Megan Thee Stallion no matter what, because they want to see a black man prosecuted. If Kelsey was to be the one put on trial right now for shooting Megan Thee Stallion, you have a bunch of confusion in womanhood. They wouldn't know who to side with. But as long as it's a man, women will stand firm. Another example I'm going to give you is this. Our black women have been known to advocate for homosexuality with men more than they advocate for black men. This is a problem we have with sisterhood. How the fuck are you advocating for a lifestyle have. No, my
Go
bad.
ahead. Go ahead.
But I was just going to end it with, this is the problem we have with this sisterhood that's going on right now. When it comes to a brotherhood, we're not ignoring the facts of where we're wrong at and our accountability. But when it comes to the accountability of sisterhood, y'all tend to run to wherever you can get back up from, no matter how foul it is. You run there for support. We're not going to support fuck shit, whether it come from men or whether it come from women. That's the difference in the bro code and the sisterhood.
Yeah. Go ahead, Essence, and then I'm a rock for a little bit. Go ahead, Essence.
You can actually go ahead and rock.
I just want to touch upon a few topics because, Starburst, she's not here. Hopefully everything's well. And thank you for coming on the show. Appreciate you.
Starburst.
And this is the thing, if your husband, if he ever wants to come on and come aside you and sit right there, he's more than welcome to. You know what I mean? We want to we want to encourage that. We want married couples to come on the show because we need that example from men and women. And that's what we're trying to show here on Plug Talk. It's not just single women, single men talk. Go ahead.
We acknowledge the unity of sister and brotherhood. So at any opportunity, we can have a couple come on in representation of a couple. We all single on here on Plug Talk. And I'm speaking for D. Marachi, myself, and Essence.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we can get a couple on here that have found out a way to make it work together for an extensive amount of time, you are the upper echelon of expectation we are all working towards to get to. So you absolutely have all the game and the knowledge to give to all of us who haven't made it there yet. Am I right, D. Marachi, in this?
Yes. Yes, you're right.
Is you on board?
Yeah, I'm on board. I would just ask.
Let me
D. Marachi finish.
It's too late to do your hair,
You
keep
interrupting.
Let me rock. So
she gonna put her hair in a box in a box.
Starburst, she on.
I ain't gonna get on her.
Starburst, she brought up a point. She was like, what does IV have to offer, and what does he have to offer? What he's doing, he's offering a platform to where you can voice your opinion and be able to be unbiased and have a conversation. And we have over 20 videos, not just getting on the women, but we are also getting on the men as well. We are being very transparent, and we are exposing ourselves to the internet. Everybody has access to this. That's what he's giving back. In his daily life and in my daily life, we are both entrepreneurs. We go out here, we work every day. We don't get
that shit, bro.
So this is the example that we have. So we have men that are actually in the field putting in the work. Just like you have Kevin Samuels, just like you have Fresh and Fit. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. These men, but we need women to champion men like us, like the late Kevin Samuels, Fresh and Fit, and other podcasters out there that are really putting in the work and stimulating this intelligent conversation. And
we also need women to champion women and not look at the women who are educated and understand or overstand or who come from different backgrounds to be called pygmies and be bullied by women.
Right.
That is the problem that Pink Book Lessons, shout out to Pink Book Lessons. She's trying to elaborate about the homegirl she reacted to. What she's saying is there's a group of women, and 78% of us were raised in single households. That means that there's a lot of women, just like there's a lot of men who've been raised by nothing but women who were taught women or feminist idealisms.
Right. Right. And so then she also said as well, as far as like the tone. In essence, you brought up the tone as well too. As a man, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna speak for myself, but me and Ivy, we have this conversation all the time. The tone to us,
Me and Essence have to. Essence knows. Go ahead.
The tone to us doesn't really matter. It's more so the message that matters. But this is the thing when it comes to the opposite sex. From a man's perspective, when we see a woman, we see peace. We see feminine. We see mild tone, gentle. So it provides us peace. So now when we see a woman and they're acting aggressive, loud talking, disrespectful, those are man traits. So when we get that, when you have aggression, how we're taught, you got to match it with aggression. And sometimes as a man, you can't distinguish the two. So so we need women, again, don't match aggression with aggression. I'm not condoning men to do certain things or say certain or speak a certain way to women, but just keep that in mind when coming to a man.
Yeah,
and
you can't come at a man with aggression. We'll be telling a man he shouldn't be so aggressive when you're acting as aggressive as a man. Not gonna work.
Right. And I just wanna finish my whole thoughts, and then we can have the floor again. I think that the side chick mentality and side chick raising other side chick women, I think is spot on. When you have somebody that says, or women that say they're independent, they don't need a man, hot girl summer, slut walks, those are all signs of side chicks at best. You know what I mean? An independent woman, that's her by herself. She's not being a virgin. She's not being abstinence. She's having sex with men. So with that being said, she is a side chick at best. I don't need a man. Side chick at best. Okay, you don't need a man. You have a married couple that was here, which was Starburst. That's what we're promoting. And I know we all make mistakes in life, like, we have children and all that stuff. That's fine, but be transparent. I know, Essence, you're a mother. I know it's very hard for you. I know it's very hard. And we commend that and we salute that. You're doing a very good job. But at the same time, I know it's hard. And I know you love your children. I know there's good and there's bad. But we got to be able to show both at the end of the day. So I think a side chick raising other side chick and then being called names, call me, pick me. That's just telling a woman to be a side chick when the idea is supposed to be in a relationship with a man. You have these Instagram posts and Snapchat and stuff. I see women, they be dancing with other women. They just have women in the thing, but they never uplift men. And especially men that are being productive. that are actually putting the work in. Essence, you've known me and Ivy for maybe a year or so now. You've known us. Our message has never changed. We've always invited, we've always loved women, but we've gotten the most scrutiny. But our message hasn't changed. Whereas you see other people, their message, they flip-flop every day. But our message hasn't changed. And we got the most scrutiny. My day one people, they don't rock with me. Not Plug, IV, his day one people don't rock with him. But his day one people will rock with my day one people, but won't rock with us. And our message hasn't changed. Essence, you rock. Go ahead.
Let Essence. Yeah, let Essence.
Go ahead.
We brought the ladies on here because we don't want to be biased. Mm-hmm. We can only speak from a man's perspective. Without our women, we do not get to give the other perspective. Essence, help us out here.
Sorry.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot, love.
Hold on. How did that happen? Wait a minute. I gotta fix my.
You look good, baby. You ain't gotta adjust nothing. You look like the shit.
No, I had to fix my audio. I don't know. I really think that we really just touched on, like, all of us have touched on all of it. As far as this topic goes, it's gonna be scrutiny, just like the old girl was being scrutinized, is the same way that you guys are getting scrutinized too, though. Just like Dimarachi said, you get what I'm saying? When you're doing, when it's about principle and you're speaking upon facts, and not that people don't speak upon facts, but people will take facts and create illusions to get what it is that they want, versus speaking about the facts and presenting it to be able to create a unity. Is the ones that are creating unity, because they're creating unity too, but it's a temporary unity for temporary gain, for a selfish longevity. Versus,
talk that shit, Essence.
I think what the platform that is being created, like with this, is about, or I think what it, the ones that, kind of, you guys get scrutinized because when you are able to pick the core of where something is coming from, like the problem, so that you can come up with a solution, you get scrutinized because when you fix the problems, we'll call them problems, people aren't able to use it as illusions anymore. You get what I'm saying? For that temporary,
absolutely,
selfish gain, in a sense.
Right. Talk your shit, love. Talk your shit.
So with that, I think we're meant to still continue to keep pushing through, even through the scrutiny, because a lot of people or a lot of things will get discouraged. Like, it's an example of the video, like you guys said, it's a group of women, it's a gang of women that will scrutinize. Just like you said, all of your day ones won't mess with you, but they'll mess with all of his day ones. Like, it's getting together because it's building up. Obviously there's a reason why, and the reason could be, hey, you know what, they are doing something different that is taking away from what they're even trying. Division, right? Division, people control, gain power. So obviously it will start unmasking people's actual real intentions, not what they're presenting, like that mask that they're presenting, the core of what gets presented. So I guess in a sense, what I would just sum it up to be is, Yeah, it is a real thing out there where people will start trying to judge, manipulate what someone is doing to unify things. They'll tear it down because that's what they're doing anyways. You get what I'm saying? It's an illusion of building up to tear down anyways. So they're gonna do it in any shape, form, or fashion that they can. I would just say keep doing what it is that we doing, that you guys are doing as far as the platform, to keep building and bringing clarity to things, like the actual clarity of things, not adding fuel to the fire so that you can gain whatever it is that you're trying to gain.
Let me jump in. Let me jump in real quick, IV, and I know it's your turn.
Yeah, you know I'm ready to get in immediately.
Let me
I
jump.
do want to say before you start.
Okay.
Essence. Wow, that was quality. I respect it. I love it. Marachi, go ahead, because I got a lot to say as response or the piggyback off of what she said.
Right.
So go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna be real quick. 2 seconds.
Do your thing.
Essence.
Take your time, bro. Take your time, bro.
I'm gonna be quick because I want you to cook. Essence. This is your platform as well too. You are a part of Plug Talk. You are a third of this. So
thank you. Talk that shit, she likes to forget that with her Tina Turner ass.
Take ownership of it. This is your platform as well too. That's all I want to say. IV, go ahead, bro.
Hold on. I needed to take a minute because I don't want to cook on sis. But sis be acting real distant. Sis, we love you here. We love everything you bring to the platform. The sister part of the aspect you bring. This wouldn't be Plug Talk without you. I'm gonna say that first. Me and D Marachi do what we do, but you were brought into this and you contributed a hell of a lot. We miss you here. Please make your presence a little bit more felt because we need you, love. No, I'm serious. Yo, Essence know how I feel about her in real life, but as far as on this platform, I don't think she understands how much she brings to the table.
Yeah.
And I just want you to understand that a lot of the things that we do is just from a man's perspective. We need you to bring that other element to light because it's not about us as individuals. As individuals, all of us going to do what we do and we're going to live our lives. We're going to try to be happy however we got to be. But as far as building this culture up, us as a team, we the Chicago Bulls, 95, 96, 72 wins, 9 losses. And we all play a role that make us a magnificent team. And we can't be a team without our sister right here, y'all. Essence. She is a part of this team, and she plays a huge role. She may be the Dennis Rodman, the outcast, she might want to be in the club too much, drink too much, and party. She may have other things going on in her life that's none of your business. But the fact is, Lady Love, we ain't gonna get this shit without you. We miss you. Please make your presence more felt. Now I'm gonna get into my niggerish shit. Cause that's what I'm here to do. That's what I do. So opposed to what he's saying, I personally feel like our sisters do not want to take accountability or ever be held responsible for their bullshit. I feel like our men are cowards and don't stand up for our culture enough to be able to tell our women to shut the fuck up and play your position. You cannot try to act like a leader if you're not willing to do leader type shit. So I understand my women when they be like, punk ass niggas, shut the fuck up, we ain't trying to listen to y'all. I get it, because I hear these men too. And I be like, bruh, ain't no way I can play for your team, bruh. But we have to take an accountability. Once again, we're talking about pink book lessons. We're talking about women getting at women and saying they were side women and nothing better. If women have been raised by side chick women, and that's the majority of them, imagine what our men come from. So we're not building warriors. We're not building a class of warrior black men. We're building a class of simp, trick black men. So you're not going to get plug talk activity out of majority of black men or the most of black men. You're going to get a majority of simpism as a woman, especially if you're a pretty woman. You're going to get a bunch of simp shit. We're here to separate the difference. And the queens we bring aboard, like Essence, even Starburst that was in here. Sorry she couldn't finish the podcast with us. I don't know what happened and what the interference was. We'll figure it out later. But our women are here to be the firm representation. I've never met a man who said Claire Huxtable was ugly. Us in our young boy mentality looked at Claire Huxtable as the ultimate wife. Let's ask these young boys that are under 20 years old right now what their model wife is today. If they say Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, we have lost our youth. When the men that are 35 plus today look at Claire Huxtable as the type of wife, they had a game called Sims, where back in the day, right? I don't know who's all familiar with it, who not. I never played it, but I know about it. Where you could pick your family and try to dictate what's going on in the lifestyle of your family. I don't think any man would ever choose anything less than Claire Huxtable. If our women are choosing anything different than the Bill Huxtable, we have a problem. Productive men or productive women. You cannot, as a woman, say, because rap music's told you you're a bad bitch, you deserve a rich nigga, and your punk ass won't even get up and go to Wendy's and work a job, you living off of government assistance. Bitch, you deserve a nickel and dime crack seller. That's what you are. Stop acting like because you got a pussy, you deserve more than you're worth. Like men. Just because you sell nickel and dime sacks during the week, you might get some 20s off on the weekends, and you bought yourself a Gucci belt, does not entitle you to a queen. You are a peasant with a Gucci belt. Earn your respect, earn your right, earn your place. And the same way I say that to men, women, I don't care how big your titties are, how fat your ass is, how wet your pussy is. If your ass ain't wifey material, ain't nobody gonna wife you. As a man, DeMarachi, please correct me if I'm wrong. We will fuck them bitches. But we won't wipe none of y'all. Women control the access to sex. We control the access to relationships and marriage. We ain't marrying you because you got a nice body, a fat ass, and some good pussy, and your stupid ass can't cook, can't communicate, and can't clean. Your ass gonna be a baby mama. Get you a dog and die alone. Rest in peace to the Godfather. I'm done.
So, you know, in retrospect, when he just said closing, we won't wife you, but we'll definitely smash. That's just a side chick at best. And I think it's spot on. I think that you know, that there's some women that are raising side chicks as daughters, and they were side chicks at one time as well because they didn't promote unity at the end of the day. And by saying independent woman, I don't need a man, slut walk, city girl, hot girl, summer, all this type of stuff that they say, that they don't promote it, finessing dudes, all that type of stuff, that's side chick behavior at best, instead of being the main one. I think I'm done. Essence, what you guys say?
My closing remarks to all of this is, I would say, from a woman to other women, or maybe females, there is a difference between teaching another woman or a female how to build a solid foundation for herself to bring in unifying herself with someone else. Don't mistake that with teaching someone to be by themselves or thinking they don't need their other half. Like, yes, build a foundation of what it is that's you to be able to have something to bring to the table, but don't take that and act like that's all you need. Like, teach to be self-sufficient and independent to be able to grow and build with what is around, not to take away.
So let me make sure I got this shit straight. Essence, what you're saying to black women is there's nothing wrong with being able to build a foundation for yourself, but don't act like that foundation is meant just for self. Remember that you're trying to meet a man that can match your fly, your essence, who you are, and help you build, even if he's not there at that moment. If this man loves you, adores you, and is willing to do whatever it takes for you, eventually y'all gonna be on equal paths. He may even exceed where you're at, but he's gonna be the motivation for both of y'all. Same way as a woman, if I'm choosing a woman, I'm not looking at a woman to be on the same path I am. I'm looking for that woman to be the counterpart that I need to continue to move forward and build.
Mm-hmm.
So, vice versa, no matter what situation, I don't care if you're a boss chick. If you make $200,000 a year and the man you fucking with makes 60, you still gotta come in the house and be a feminine woman and be submissive to him. Mm-hmm. That's the way your household is gonna work. It doesn't matter what you do outside that household, because y'all working together as a team for the betterment of the both of y'all. What matters at the end of the day is where y'all end up 20 years from now as a couple. So all these individual lines we see as an independent group and want to be like, I'm a boss bitch, I'm a boss nigga, and we can't see eye to eye, that's bullshit. That's fuckery. That is Willie Lynch syndrome at its finest. I need y'all to understand that we will never get anywhere without each other. And that is a shout out to my essences as well as my demarachis. To my brothers and my sisters, we are nothing without each other. And we will never be anything without our counterparts. So no matter how much your coon ass make money by yourself, you ain't shit when you leave us. We make the world go round. We always have, we always will. Even in today's society, we are the biggest spenders. And anytime you need to promote a product, they put a black face in front of it. Whether it's an entertainer, athlete, whatever the fuck. We market this shit. So, if I can raise my fist up and say some type of black power shit, what I will say towards this black fish right now is if we don't stamp it, it don't move. Like post office mail. It ain't going nowhere without the stamp on it, right? So we don't stamp it, it don't move. Recognize your power, my sisters and my brothers. And stop abusing your power to step over your black sisters and brothers. That's useless power. That's meaningless power. Your power only manifests itself when you manifest it amongst the other people just like you. When you empower other people, you realize how powerful you are. Peace and blessings. That's all I got to say. Demarachi S's, where we going from here?
Like, subscribe.
And share.